think what you just said, Akid, raises two different points. Before we get to the nature of expression that we have and how we portray that in our films and the culture, the emotional nature of our culture, and how that transcended to film and TV. I would also add, there's a lot, we're not going to go into the names, but I would also add Ziad Douairi to the list of Lebanese filmmakers who have done a massive work towards getting Lebanese films off the ground and into an international an international audience. And there's something specific with these films. Enta, you have pointed out part of it, a big part of it, with how the emotion translates, how the story is more something that international audiences can connect to. But I believe that the one of the things in common between these films is that the story and the emotion that we deal with, or the subject matters that we're talking about, are universal, but they happen to take place in Lebanon. So that's a very specific way to do films. And that's not necessarily something appealing to everyone, but that's at least something that, as you said, bridges the gap or bridges the differences between audiences and makes these films more accessible. We can look at same examples in Iranian cinema, same examples in Italian cinema. We've seen that a lot in German cinema. So cinemas from around the world, what we call as independent filmmaking or auteur cinema or whatever the naming of that is outside the US Hollywood studio system, or even the French studio system, or any other country that has a well-established studio system. So these films come with a different edge. They come with more freedom and flexibility to express, and this is why sometimes you feel that they're nailing it. They're getting you somewhere where you feel a connection. You feel there's something true with what's going on. On how our let's say our Arab or the region's nature and emotional nature is expressed in TV and in drama and in films. Well, I think this is a very big topic, but one thing for sure is that we're no longer there. Today in 2026, we don't still have the same issues we had in early 2000 or 2010. Like, just look at one simple example. We don't have the issue of getting a nice high quality image. Anyone can produce a high quality image. That's behind us now. Does that make the show or the film a good show? Not at all. But at least we crossed the first threshold, which is we're now at least delivering high quality technical production. Is that really important? I don't think so. But at least we've crossed that. Now, this brings the focus more on the.
It would be important now because that's the standard. Because like people have adjusted their eyesight and just their standard to high quality vision.
But we weren't even achieving that in 2000.
Yeah, in the past.
Yeah, we weren't even achieving that. It was a big step to any production to achieve high quality image. It was ridiculous when you look at TVs and the format. You see, like, Anjad, seriously, guys, we can't even produce a decent image now. We don't have that problem anymore. Again, that doesn't mean that the shows and the films became
are good. Yeah, they're not.
Are good. So, but for me, at least the focus is now more on substance, on what is inside of this. What's the subject matter? What are we dealing with? Because the challenge is no longer getting a high quality image. Any phone can get you a high quality image. Any camera can get you a high quality image. What do you do with that image is what's important today. What do you do? How do you use that? What are you telling? Which story are you telling with that image? And are your choices really coming all together and coming all in the right way to elicit emotions, to speak about the subject matters that you want to speak? And hatta go back one step. Do you really have something to say before you turn on that camera? Is that what you're going to say? Is that relevant? And are you capable of really holding that and saying it to the world? Now let's see how you're going to say it. It's no longer about, can you produce a good image, a good looking image? Can you produce a decent sound? Now the focus is somewhere else. And this is, for me, a great opportunity to start exploring a new wave and a new age of cinema and TV in the Arab world.